Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's another sit down video. At this point I think I've done like 3. Have my moringa, so get yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee, you know the drill. Snuggle up. You can do your chores while you listen to this, or just come straight on here. Let's get cozy. Today we're talking about psychotherapy and trauma healing. I have been waiting to do this video, and I know you guys have been excited for this video. It's finally here. I'm excited. I've been talking about this a lot, and I put a lot of effort into this video to make sure I give you guys the correct steps and I give you guys what actually helped me, because the main goal is to help everyone who watches this video. Even if it's just one person, that's the goal with this channel. So oh, this is so good. Moringa is so good for your skin, for your health, for your biotin levels. It has literally all kinds of vitamins. Look, it's like, I don't know if you can see, it's like green, but it tastes really good. I put honey in it. It's yummy. So anyways, we're gonna get started. Let me know what kind of video you guys want to see next in the comments, and leave this video a thumbs up. So trauma, a lot of people, when they hear the word trauma, they think about childhood trauma. That is a trauma, but there's also other kinds of trauma a lot of people don't understand. Trauma is a distressing event that causes a change in a person that is undesirable or detrimental. It could be something that happened last week. If it has a lasting change on you negatively, that's undesirable, that's a trauma. Now that you understand what traumas are, they come up in your everyday life. I know when I was full of trauma, oh gosh, I would be in friendships and any sign of them possibly leaving me would hurt so bad. If they took too long to text back, if I went over to their house and she said something that alluded to the fact that she wanted me to maybe leave, it hurt. And it wasn't just a, oh, that makes me sad. No, it was a deep hurt. You'll know it's a trauma when it is a deep wound. And you'll know it's a trauma when it's reoccurring and it's not just happening one time and then you forget about it. No, this happens. It's a cycle. Traumas are a cycle. Oftentimes they do happen in our childhood, but like I said at the beginning, that's not the only kind of trauma. So the first thing you need to realize, step 1 out of 5, is realize that trauma is not just an emotion. It goes way deeper than that. Read the book, The Body Keeps Score. It is an amazing book and it really changed my perspective on emotions. Like I said in my last video, emotions are guides. Go watch my video on emotional regulation. It really changed how I view emotions. And the book was amazing. And it told me that trauma is stored in our bodies. It's not just an emotion that you feel, but it's something that is physical. It's a pain that is physical. It's a hurt. It can lead to diseases. Trauma can lead to headaches. Trauma can lead to digestive issues. Trauma is a very, very serious thing, and if it is not dealt with, it will take over your life, and a lot of people get seriously ill because of their trauma. They choose to be taken over by their trauma instead of taking your trauma captive. It's very difficult, which is why a lot of people don't want to do the inner work. Or they just don't know how. That's why I'm here to educate everybody. So you need to release it. And to release it, you must recognize it. You must look at your trauma and say, you are trauma. I'm identifying what you are. And I'm going to feel you. And I'm going to release you. Okay? Allow it to remain. If you release it and it comes back again and again and again, that's what traumas do. They're emotions and they're pain bodies. Like I said earlier, it can come with physical ailments. Allow it to remain, make space for it. You can say, I know that you're a trauma, you will go away. In step 2, I'm going to tell you how to, or step 3, I'm going to tell you how to make it go away. But you will go away. I'm going to make space for you and make a space in your head. That's what helped me. Say, you can stay, and I know you're going to come back when certain events arise, but I'm releasing you for the time being. And allow it to be gone and allow it to come. Emotions and traumas are like waves. It cuts so deep into our psyche that you can't just say, okay, I'm releasing you, you're gone. Identifying it is the first step. And like I said, realizing that trauma is stored in your body. It's not just something you can just release. We're going to figure out in step 2 and 3 how to rewire our relationship with it so that we can still have it inside of us and we can change our mindset. That brings me into step 2, changing your beliefs. Changing your belief changes your bias, which is how you see the world. Everyone has a different bias. Everyone has a completely different bias. The same thing could be happening to 2 people and they'll both see it differently because they have different biases. So your beliefs change your bias. And your bias changes your behavior. Beliefs ultimately change your behavior. And that influences your emotions. It's like a chain. Picture it as like a circle. If you can change your subconscious beliefs, I talked about this in my emotions video as well, but if you can change your subconscious beliefs, the first initial thought that you think, you can change your emotions. Consistency, okay? Consistency and repetition. Also, expose yourself to triggers as much as you possibly can, because the less you expose yourself to triggers, the more that those triggers become triggerable. Expose yourself to triggers and allow those emotions and traumas to come up. The more they come up, the more that you'll learn how to deal with them. So, like I said, we're still on the step where we're changing our beliefs. The inherent negative beliefs that we have are called maladaptive beliefs. These are any beliefs that are negative or non-beneficial to you. Imagine yourself feeling and doing how you want. Again and again and again. Consistency with this is key. Imagine yourself thinking positive thoughts and those thoughts changing your reality and changing your emotions and changing your traumas. How would your relationships look? Picture it over and over and over and over again. And we're going to flip out our thoughts. Let's take an example of, if I don't give people what they want, then they abandon me. We could flip that thought to, it's best to be authentic and real. I can't control how others act, and I can handle what comes my way. That's a quick fix. And so now, from now on, every time a traumatic thought comes up or a traumatic emotion, all we gotta do is flip the thought around. Change it to a neutral or positive thought. A lot of people have trauma with positive thinking because it became really, really toxic. Being too positive can be way too toxic. So if you can't be positive, if you got trauma with that, just be not negative, neutral, not negative. Just be neutral. Neutrality will save you. So changing those thoughts is amazing. You can even write them down. When I was going through this process, I wrote down like a lot of inherent and maladaptive beliefs that I had, and I replaced them all with positive ones. But yeah, emotions are running automatically, and we as amazing, beautiful human beings, if you're on this channel watching me, we have to go into the control panel to access them. And the way that we do that is through our thoughts. Eventually your emotions will change and the trauma will go away. You have to feel it, and you have to allow space for it and change that. The thoughts, the initial thoughts, because that changes our beliefs, our bias, behavior, all of that, like we talked about. And also sometimes, like I said, they can be stored in your body. traumas can, sometimes it can be great to shake it out, to exercise, to move your body, because trauma that's stored, it's stagnant. And when you move your body, you move around and you sweat it out, it's gonna go. It's gonna come out in your sweat. It's gonna come out in your tears if you cry it out. I always say that tears are healing. Crying, exercising, somatic shakes are amazing. Look up somatic shakes. I do somatic shakes. It's like shaking your body and getting all the trauma out. It's amazing. Gosh. Step 3, learn how to cope when those emotions do come up. It's going to be difficult because it's going to feel like you're constantly changing your thoughts, like I told you to do, and your body's still feeling the emotions. It's going to hurt because you're going to feel like you're putting in all this effort and all this work and you're not seeing any results because you're still feeling the same thing. So what I like to do is the stop method. S stands for to be still. Even though you're having a feeling, like I said, you don't have to act on it. Ask yourself questions to figure out what's going on. T stands for be thoughtful. So this means putting yourself first and being thoughtful of yourself. O is be observant. Observe how you're feeling and try and put a word to it. Putting words to your feelings are amazing. P is be patient. Don't ever beat yourself up for falling back into the old ways of thinking. I also like to add on, that was the stop method. I like to add on drop and roll. So stop, drop, and roll. Drop kind of stands for digging deeper. Dig deeper into the subconscious mind to understand why you're thinking those maladaptive beliefs, those negative beliefs. Understanding the why behind things can oftentimes cure it. It's amazing. It helps you really understand. So every time you have a maladaptive belief, it's all caused by what we call distortions. Distortions are ways of thinking that aren't true. Cognitive distortions, there's 15 of them. I am going to put a link in the bio for the 15 cognitive distortions so you can go read about them. There are some such as catastrophizing, believing that the worst possible outcome is going to happen, as well as all or nothing thinking, blaming. There's a lot of different distortions. If you can, in your drop method, figure out what the cognitive distortion is, it's really going to help you. I'm sorry, my voice is going out. I'm getting over a sickness. The last one is to drop. The last one is to roll. My bad. Rolling is getting into a different role so that you can analyze your situation and your emotions that you're thinking. So when you are having these emotions come up, I said in my last video to go onto your audio recording app and record yourself talking about everything that's going on. Talk about all the emotions you're feeling and how horrible you're feeling. And then play it back and listen to it as if you're the parent of yourself, if that makes sense. So you're listening to it and you're giving yourself advice. So getting into a different role can take the emotion out of it and you start to bring in logic, which obviously emotions are important. Feeling your emotions are great. That's what the first part is for. The second part is to really analyze what you can do about it. Give yourself advice and step into that different role. I'm coughing like crazy. Goodness. The last step is to have patience with yourself and to communicate fully with yourself. Sometimes we feel things and we just block it out. We don't want to communicate to ourselves what we're feeling because we're afraid to face the reality. That happened to me so much. I would avoid my trauma because I was so ashamed. And it's okay. Have that love and grace for yourself. with having that love, you have to understand that you need to be honest with yourself. It's a very difficult thing, and that's why nobody wants to grow. Everyone wants to stay where they are. But if you're strong enough and you're willing to grow, that's where you're going to see change. Next, I'm going to do a video about self-worth. A big thing about trauma healing is having love for yourself and knowing your worth. I have a lot of activities I'm going to do. I think I'm going to post that in the next couple days, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, have so much patience with yourself and know that it's going to take time. All of this understanding that I have about my traumas took so long. I want to say it took 4 or 5 years of me trying to figure out why I'm feeling certain ways. But I was never brave enough to drop deep into myself and understand why. You know you have these emotions, but you don't know why. And so I hope that the video today helped. I'm really excited to make more videos. Please, again, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see in the comments. And I hope that this helped you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.